Hi, Gary Cox from Cosmic here. We're here to have a look at the Line 6 Helix this morning, the new multi-effects unit. A big step up in class and performance from almost anything on the market at the moment. What we've got is a lot of great amp models and way more. One of the biggest features of this one for me is that it has a headroom floor of 123 decibels, which means all of the effects are super clean, crystal clear, and the amp models really do feel like you're playing through the actual amp. All right, let's dive in and have a look at some of the features of the Helix. If we look down directly from the top, I've got it in preset mode at the moment. So we've got a whole bunch of sounds just available from the foot switches. So I can bank up and down and we'll see different sound options come up. We've got basically 8 sounds available at a time. We've also got an option on the mode switch, and it will show you what effects we currently have active within that patch. We also have a looping function, so if I tap the loop amp, it literally will see the standard looping controls from almost any other type of pedal. Why don't we have a quick look at some of the presets. Let's start with 13C Evil. Setting for your Rush fans there. Classics. So whilst we've got all the real classic sounds and you can use them for blues, jazz and rock, we also have some really crazy stuff for you guys too. We also have a tuner. If we hold a fairly obvious button. On stage, this is beautiful because it's actually very bright indeed. So real easy to see under bad lighting conditions. If we release the tuner, that becomes a tap tempo function for whatever effect it's assigned to. And one of the nice things with the Helix is you can assign pretty much any parameter to any foot switch and any control. It's really configurable and very easy to use. Another really important thing is you do have a home button, and that just returns you to literally a safe spot, so you'll find your way back if you get lost in the myriad of menus. There's quite a lot of editing that can be done with this one. In fact, absolutely every parameter can be edited and assigned, as I said, to different foot switches. Okay, so let's dig into the unit a little bit. Imagine we've just literally turned it on. The way I've got this connected actually is we've just got the Strat direct into one of the inputs. The unit actually has 4 stereo inputs that can be used for multiple different kinds of sources. And when we have a look at how the screen operates later, we literally have 4 completely independent signal chains which can have their own effects. We do have XLR inputs for vocal microphones and fan and power, and you can run them simultaneous. So if I had an acoustic guitar on me and I was just singing a song at a gig, I can have reverb and EQ on my vocals and whatever I need on the guitar, including the looper. And they're all handled as a separate loop. And you can have individual sounds banking and switching all of those different presets, so the vocal will change as well as the guitar. We're literally just feeding out of the direct left and right outs from this, so there's no guitar amplifiers being used. We're listening entirely to the Helix. What we've got are a whole pile of factory presets, and some of them absolutely fantastic. When we're looking at the names on the top, it should be quite apparent what a 2204 is to us Marshall fans. And so you can really figure out what amps we want. If I want to change between the different sounds, I just literally can tap through. Real classic Plexi Marshall sound there. A little bit of a Mesa kind of sound. For banking up and down, just literally that will patch us through lots and lots of different banks. There's millions of sounds, way too many to go through. But one thing you'll notice, even if I just play a straight chord, the quality of the modeling is very reactive. It's very expressive. a lot of earlier modeling units really just didn't quite capture the feel of playing a guitar through the real amplifier. This one does seem to get that. If we switch to some of the crazier sounds, we've got a whole bunch of presets, like there's a pretty close, that's kind of Stevie Ray Vaughan sort of sound in there. Preset 22D, the crossover synthesizer. Loads of fun. A regular funk sound. Big stadium rock sound. One of the cool things, if you have a look at this one, is we can see a whole bunch of stuff going on the screen. We can see what I was talking about a little earlier about the routing. The inputs and outputs can actually be used as effect send and returns as well. So if you do have a couple of favorite pedals from whatever boutique manufacturer that you're using, they can go in there and be switched on and off from the unit without having to play the tap dancing game. But you'll find that almost all the effects that you could possibly want are actually in here anyway. What we do have, the expression pedal function. So we've got, in this particular case, it's just acting as a volume. And of course that's allocatable, so we could make it, if I push it hard, it will switch which expression function it's using. So it could be a wah-wah, it could be a pitch shift, it could be the amount of chorus, any parameter at all. So if I go back to home base and we have a look at the screen, what we've got are a whole bunch of the factory presets available, and I can dial between them from here. It's actually a touch screen as well, so touching that does work too. We have 2 factory banks, which have been loaded with some great presets, but we can also make user presets, and there are templates for an unbelievable amount of things. In fact, it's worth mentioning, we can connect in 4 cable, 7 cable mode for feeding 2 different signals to different places. With having 8 outs, channel 7 and 8 on the output is usually a dry signal, so you can do reamping. So when you record with one of these units, you can have the sound recorded and you can have the sound of the guitar and then edit the parameters and listen to it afterwards, post-playing. Okay, let's have a quick look at one of my favorite presets, which is the Cali rectifier. Great sound for a lot of purposes. We've got a whole bunch of effect settings sort of set up on this one to make it the way it is. So we've got reverbs and delay. The loopers set to operate as well. And what we can do is, if I touch the mode button, what that will do is bring up the different effects that have been set up. And you'll notice that if I touch one of the buttons, I don't actually have to press it all the way down. It's touch sensitive. It just makes life for editing a lot easier. What we can also do is assign multiple functions to one button. So I could make this button actually switch on both the modulated phase and the scream at the same time, if I want to. I mean, just to show how simple it is to actually edit one, if we just go into the user's presets, we've got an empty bank, and I can enter into that, and we'll see that on the screen we've literally got no effect. So we've got the completely dry guitar signal. So we can literally move left and right and up and down and choose what different routes we're using. So if I wanted the first effect on here to be, say, a distortion, I can literally just move the joystick and dial in, we'll keep it stereo, and I can choose, let's take a pick, Tycho Octavia Fuzz, why not? So a bit of Hendrix. Really nasty sounding pedal, but that was kind of the point back then. And we could add dynamics, modulation, and EQ. Again, choose stereo. I could put on a vibe pedal. And all of the parameters are available from the bottom, just like on a normal pedal. So we'll just switch it to an 808 tube screamer, and that's more like it. And we've got a bit of craziness on the vibe. Take the intensity down. And we've got the basics of a usable sound, but we could pile up more and more effects. and just have as much fun as you like. Basically, you can create anything you need to. Okay, thanks for watching. That's basically the Helix. Come in store, check one out. We've got them in stock, or look us up on our Facebook site or our website, which is cosmic.com.au.
No matter what you play or want to learn, Australia's leading musical instrument retailer Cosmic Sound offers a range of guitar, bass, DJ, high-tech, drum and PA equipment to suit your needs. Check us out online at cosmic.com.au.